Hello and welcome to Howley Hall Golf Club, where today I'm taking a look at the brand new SIM2 range of drivers from Taylormade. Hi there, Ryan Rastall here for Golfshake.com, and you join me here at Howley Hall Golf Club basking in some gorgeous winter sunshine, where today, as I've said, I'm taking a look at the brand new SIM2 line of drivers from Taylormade. But before we do that, please hit that subscribe button to see loads more content from all of us here at Golfshake to help you play more and play better. So, Taylormade generally release new drivers each year, and this year is no exception. So for 2021, SIM2 is the driver line that is coming out. Now, Taylormade is a very, very popular brand when it comes to metal woods, and it is across the board, to be honest, but you see loads of these in play on tour. So there are three models coming out next year. So we've got the SIM2, which I have in my hand, the SIM2 MAX and the SIM2 MAX D as well. So I'm going to talk you through some of the key technologies that we have in all three models, and then at the end I'll talk a little bit about the subtle differences between those. So SIM stands for shape in motion. So Taylormade have developed this, as you can probably gather from the name, it's all about trying to make the drivers nice and aerodynamic, and also quite forgiving during the entirety of the swing. So basically trying to get this driver to move through the air as fast as we can, but then when we hit it, so if we don't hit the middle of the face, we still get really good results. Now, it's achieved in loads of different ways, but the speed pocket that we see on the bottom of the driver there is something that we've seen before in Taylormade products. Really helps, particularly if we don't hit the middle of the face, generate some more of that ball speed, allows the face and the head to flex a little bit more. We have some slight differences though. So you'll have seen the speed injection ports that on the last few models of driver have been in the face. This has moved slightly in the SIM2 models, and now we see this one little port in here where the resin is injected just into the sort of toe area of the golf club there, and kind of moves around inside the head once it's put in there. So slight difference in that as well. We still have the twist face technology, which we've seen over the last few iterations of driver from Taylormade, really helping on those off-center hits to help with the gear effect and getting the ball back onto target a little bit more. But you'll notice there are some pretty funky different colours on the head here. One of them being this blue aluminium section here on the back. So this back ring, if you like, on the head. Now, this is much lighter than if it was made of steel. So what that's allowed Taylormade to do is move some of the weight around the head a little bit as well. So that aluminium ring really helps that. We've got in this model a 16-gram weight towards the back of the head. In the other models it's a little bit heavier, but the SIM2 model is going to be the lowest spinning model in the line. So it's all about trying to get a little bit more weight forward in the head, but also sort of perimeter weight in it as well, so we get that forgiveness aspect too. Now, Taylormade have changed this carbon crown. So this is a 6-layer carbon crown that we have in this model now. Weighs only around 11 grams, so they're able to save quite a bit of weight there as well to use around the head, getting it the MOI higher and moving CG slightly lower to really help get that high, low spinning ball flight that we're all after. We've got this as well, so this is more of a swing weighting mechanism really, so that when the driver comes off the production line they can make sure that each one is swing weighted correctly for you, and also you'll see there's carbon fibre now in the sole of this driver. Now, replacing the steel and titanium that would have previously been used in driver heads, and replacing it with this carbon fibre is obviously a weight saving exercise as well. So we can see when we explode the head here, we can see all the different components. So we've got the face plate, then we've got the aluminium brace there on the back of it, the back ring, and then the carbon sole and top crown of the driver as well that slot in there nicely, and then this little weight that goes in the bottom. So yeah, Taylormade have really thought about this from a weight saving and sort of basically trying to make this as efficient as possible kind of perspective really. And you know, when we look at the other models in the range, so here I've got the SIM MAX as well. This has got a much heavier weight towards the back, so 24 grams now towards the back of the driver. So again, that's moving the CG in the head, and also moving and making MOI slightly higher. So basically moving that weight back helps to resist the twisting, and also if we don't hit the middle of the face, we're still going to get that bit more forgiveness and stability from this driver head. Now we've obviously got the Max D version as well, which for those of you out there who need that little bit more draw bias, a little bit more help, the weight is shifted a little bit more towards the heel section of the driver to really promote that as well for you. Some of the things you won't see, the way that the back of the face is actually machined, there's different thicknesses in there as well, really to make sure that off-center hits are maximised on all of these drivers, and this is something that Taylormade haven't done before. So there's lots of new technologies in there, with the carbon and the aluminium being used in the head, but also some of those ones that we've come to expect from Taylormade drivers in things like twist face, and also the speed injection in there as well. So we are going to try these two models, are the ones I've got. So we're going to try both of these, both out here on the golf course here at Howley Hall, as well as in the performance centre. We'll take a look at some of the trackman numbers that we get from them as well, but also I'll feedback how they perform out here. So let's go give them a hit and see how they go. So just walking down the 16th fairway now, hit a few off the 16th with both drivers. So hit two with SIM2 MAX and two with SIM2 obviously. I've played, this is my, sixth hole now that I've played. I've hit them on two other holes so far, because there's not many holes here at Howley at the moment in the winter, with it being so short that you really have to hit driver on. But so I decided to hit a couple here off 16 with each one. But yeah, struck them all pretty good. It's, as you can probably hear, it's a fairly windy day. It's kind of into off the right here. So I'm going to have a bit of a walk up and see exactly where they've finished. But feel-wise off the face, the SIM2 definitely feels more solid, I would say. SIM Max a little bit tinnier, SIM2 Max should I say, a little bit tinnier, but the ball flight seems to be a bit higher with SIM2 Max, to be honest. So I would expect them to carry a little bit further, and certainly the holes I've played so far, the ones I've hit with that have gone a little bit further. So we're going to get up here to the top of the hill and see exactly where they've gone. So if we take a quick look at the four shots I've hit, so I've just missed the fairway down the right here, with the first one on the fairway and in pretty good shape, looking up there with the second. But then if we take a walk over this side of the fairway, so these are the two that I hit with SIM2 Max. So if we get over here, we can see this one just cleared this this bunker down the left hand side here, so it's in a pretty good position looking down the hole. And then this one's gone out a little bit further, but then you can see there's not much run on the ball, because if I go back to this first one, it's actually come backwards at me. Yeah, so it's landed and yeah, jumped back about 4 or 5 inches. So yeah, although hit them all fairly decent, to be honest. Yeah, you can see there's not much run out here today, but the two that I hit with the Max went a little bit further left, so you know, they've launched a bit higher, moved a bit more on the wind, but they've gone a bit further as well. So yeah, pretty happy with both. So having just come in from the freezing cold out on the golf course of hitting these drivers, I thought I'd hit a few in here just to get some numbers as well. So from what I thought when I was out on the golf course, I thought that I would hit the SIM2 Max driver that little bit further. It just seemed to, the ball flight was a bit better, and the balls that I got to out there on the golf course were just that little bit longer. Now, looking at it here on the trackman, we can see that
Yes, it has gone slightly longer carry, but the total distance is about the same, purely because the spin's that little bit higher. So I was seeing a slightly higher ball flight, which again is backed up here. They're exactly the same loft, these two drivers, so they're both 9 degrees, both had exactly the same shafting, because I kept switching it out when I was hitting it out on the golf course and testing it. So there shouldn't really be that much difference from that kind of standpoint. It must be the technology in the head and obviously my inconsistency as a golfer that has given different numbers here. You can actually see I've swung it a bit quicker with that as well. So it's just about a mile an hour quicker, which will obviously make a little difference to the numbers, but not too much. I mean, we're getting very similar ball speed, 169, 170-ish miles an hour as an average, which I would say is a bit less than what I would normally get with my own driver. But I think it just comes down to I just need to have a play around with a few more shafts and just get it properly fitted and dialed in for me. But I was happy. I absolutely loved hitting them. They feel awesome off the face. They really do. They feel fantastic. Really solid kind of. You can tell that most of the head is made of carbon fibre, and I mean that in a good way. I think it's got that kind of duller sound that you sometimes get from more carbon composite sort of heads. But they both feel great off the face. We can see when we look at the dispersion as well. I was a little bit straighter with SIM2 MAX. I think that, again, that's probably from the spin perspective as well. It's just helping me to hit it that bit straighter. And I certainly found that a little bit out on the golf course too. But there's not really much to choose between the two of them. The dispersion wasn't quite as good on the shots I've hit in here with the SIM2 as opposed to SIM2 MAX. But certainly out on the golf course, I couldn't really tell that much difference, if I'm honest. But I did feel like I'd maybe hit them further with SIM2 MAX, and it's probably because it's soaking wet out on the golf course. I'm just getting that bit more carry with it, and the run doesn't really come into play. So the spin characteristics, maybe that's not translating to what I'm seeing on the golf course here at the moment, just because of how damp the conditions are. But certainly love hitting them both, and I'd be interested to, like I say, properly when my shaft pack comes, I can have a bit of a look at all the different shafts that come in this driver and have a bit of a play around to actually properly dial it in for myself. I think I might squeeze a few more yards out of these, but I'm not complaining. They're averaging just over 300 yards, and that's good enough for me, and they feel great off the face. So yeah, very, very good drivers, and definitely ones you should be considering when you're looking at a new driver for 2021. Now, I hope you enjoyed that video. I certainly love testing these and getting them out on the golf course, but if you've got any more questions about them, please pop them in the comments section below. I'll try my best to answer them, and we'll see you all very, very soon.